Welcome to Talking Halos and Derek Ciapola with my co-host, my partners in crime, Jared Timms, Nate Green. I know what to expect right away because the Angels just got swept, so I'm gonna go right into it. Nate, how you doing?
Jeez. Man, I'm good. It's good to be back. Good to see y'all.
Yeah, how was the honeymoon?
It was good. And yeah, I got to see Jared. Jared came out for the wedding. It was good to see him in person, it was a fun time.
Jared, how you doing?
You act like we've never met in person before. It's great. Like we didn't grow up together going to
He
Angels games or
he
anything.
he comes down like once a year now, so anytime.
Jeez.
That's it.
Ah,
All right, all right.
let's go.
So before we get to it, here's a word from our sponsors. All right, so guys, what a week! Angels go on the road. They just swept the A's. They go on the road against a team that's beatable, Baltimore, who I think is turning it around. Their record's deceiving. They're turning around. Um, they get swept. They get swept, and it's a rough series overall. Nate, what'd you take from it?
Angels don't play in Baltimore well. And honestly, I think this is kind of what you have come to expect with this Angels team. They're a roller coaster of a ride. They're going to have some good weeks and then some bad weeks, and they're not going to be good enough where you're like, hey, they're going to be consistent for a month or two straight. They're just going to be one of those teams that's going to ride the wave of, hey, we have some guys that are hot right now, so we're going to swing it good. We'll win some games, and then when everyone gets cold, they're going to lose some games. So. I mean, this is kind of what we expect from the Angels right now.
Sure.
Yeah, you're building momentum coming off the sweep against the A's. Good homestand as well. And you're building a lot of momentum, bringing up Christian Moore. I know we'll talk about here in a minute. And then all of a sudden, yeah, you get swept by a team that's 15, maybe not 15, 10 games under 500 and in a series that you look to hopefully win and get back to 500. And yeah, I mean, Nate said it well. It's that this is what we've been saying the entire season. It's going to be you're going to have some highs, you're going to have some lows. And I don't know if you're gonna have too much in the middle. So hopefully they can pick it up in New York, where I feel like they've played decently well of late. I could totally be wrong, but I feel like the Angels usually play the Yankees decently well. Maybe at least dating back to like 2000, which is a long sample size, big sample size. But again, I feel like the Angels play the Yankees well. So we'll see how that goes. Good news, they don't have to face Garrett Cole. Nobody's got to face Garrett Cole this year. They're going to have to face Carlos Rodon. So hopefully the bats get going in a place where you can hit some home runs for sure. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I do like the Angels matchup against the Yankees, but yeah, when it came to the Baltimore series, just felt like anything that could go wrong did go wrong, and bounces just didn't go the Angels' way and things like that. So it is what it is. You kind of move on from that series. But yeah, it would have been nice to see the momentum continue to carry over and take 2 or 3 in Baltimore, but it is what it is.
They don't typically play well in Baltimore at all.
Yeah.
It's one thing. And two, Baltimore's 30 and 40. They're a much better team than 30 and 40. Young talent they have there is core worthy, and they're just a couple pitchers away, really. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do at the deadline, but they're gonna be back quickly next year, if not in contention by the end of this year. So those who are like, oh, they just got swept by a 30 and 40 team, they're not just saying 30 and 14. This is a team that's loaded with talent. And now they're getting healthy, by the way. They just got Jordan Westburg back. So I'm not too surprised at the result. I would have thought they would have taken one in the series, but I mean, they're just not a great baseball team. The Angels aren't, anyways. So you mentioned the Christian Moore, Sam Bachman. Both of them are back. Start with Christian Moore first, going to Nate. What do you expect from Christian Moore in his first call up? You know I'm going to go to you first, dude. You
Yeah,
know
no.
it.
Um, well, I mean, the scouting report's out there with him, right? Like you're going to see a lot of swing and miss from him. You're going to see some juice from him. You're going to see a fun, exciting guy who's going to make some exciting plays. Like he might turn a double into a triple or a single into a double, things like that, where you're going to be like, wow, this guy's fun. But there's going to be a lot of swing and miss. Like that's who he is. That's what he is right now. As he grows and matures, maybe that swing and miss gets cut down and he becomes a little bit better of a hitter. But yeah, the biggest thing too, and I think Jared and I talked about this already, is like how is he going to look defensively? Because we have seen it with every Angels prospect. you just ride the wave of how they hit, right? Like they'll have their month where they hit really well, they'll have their month where they look really, really lost, but the Angels are like, you know what, we're just gonna keep running him out there and let him continue to grow and figure out how to play this game. But the biggest thing for Christian Moore is how is he going to play defensively? He looked okay so far. Didn't make any mistakes early in his first two games, and I don't know. Well, that's the biggest thing, and I think it's nice that Wash is supposedly a really good defensive guy, and being able to, and he knows Christian Moore a little bit from his time earlier in his career. So hopefully that helps Christian Moore just settle in a little bit and play good defense because we know that he will hit eventually, but it's not going to be anything crazy early on. It's just going to be like I say Zach Geloff, the athletics guy who's got some juice, who's got some swing and miss. He hit like 220, 230, but he has the upside to hit 20, 25 homers, that kind of guy. Geloff has yet to kind of reach that ceiling, but that's kind of what Christian Moore will be.
Jared, what do you think he's going to do his first time up?
Yeah, you got to kind of temper expectations. I mean, he's going to be a fine major leaguer, I think, at the end of the day. If you see struggles here early, that's not definitely not a bad thing. I want to see him struggle. He's never struggled anywhere. Like even dating back to his days as like a freshman and sophomore at Tennessee, he was a good player at Tennessee both times. I mean, excuse me. I guess you can say he failed this year in Rocket City a little bit. And you saw what he did once he got promoted to AAA. But but yeah, I want to see him fail a little bit. I do. I wouldn't mind seeing him, bat a buck 50 and see how he handles that situation. Does he become worse as a defender? Does he rise to the occasion as a defender? That's a big question mark. But I think at the end of the day, like we could see him if he sticks at the major league level here, I think we could see him be a 240, 250 hitter with maybe 15 to 20 home runs at the end of the season. I think we're talking pretty good about that when it's all said and done. However, that would be my expectations for him this year. I think that knowing the Angels, like he's probably gonna be a 200 hitter that hits some home runs, and is gonna swing and miss quite a bit. So, Angels fans expect him to probably swing and miss a little bit. Um, Once he gets comfortable, I said this his first game, he just didn't look comfortable in the box against Charlie Morton. I mean, it's a tough thing when Charlie Morton's a professional major league pitcher that's been there and done it for heck 10 plus years now. So yeah, I said it. He looked uncomfortable. Once he gets comfortable at the major league level and he starts swinging like we've seen him swing in double A and triple A, I think that he's okay. But for right now, he just looks a little timid. He looks a little I don't want to call him scared, but he looks a little uncomfortable in the box. And I think that once that goes away, once he gets a couple hits under his belt, maybe hits one out of the park, hopefully at Yankee Stadium, then I think that we start seeing a little bit more. But again, Nate hit it on the nose. It comes down to the defense with him. Is he going to be able to stick at second base? Did the Angels end up having to try him as a corner outfielder? I mean, do they put him at third base? We'll see. But yeah, the Angels starting second baseman right now. Moving forward, I expect nothing less than that from this organization.
Do the Angels have the people in the organization at the major league level who can make him better, who can help him develop?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look at what Nolan Schanuel's doing this year. Look at Zach Neto. I know Logan O'Hoppy's a little bit off to a rough start this year and everything like that. But even Logan O'Hoppy, Joe Adell's made some good adjustments this year. So Reed Detmer is another one that looks really good at coming out of the bullpen. But yeah, I think the Angels do have the pieces in place to help him out at the major league level. I think Ron Washington's going to be a big contributor to this. And again, I think like I, I mean, Shawnoel and Neto are leading the Angels in batting average this year, which isn't saying a whole lot, but they are leading the Angels in batting average this year. And those are two guys that Perry picked and Perry and staff, should I say, picked, and knew what they were doing with it. It's not like a Joe Adell where they were handed Joe Adell and not really their type of guy. Same thing with Reed Detmers where it's not really their type of guy. So yeah, I think that Christian Moore will end up fitting in, and I think the Angels do have some coaches that are going to help him develop at the major league level. Now, if you would have asked me this a couple years ago, I would have said it kind of worries me a little bit for sure. But I do think that we are seeing seeing players take steps in the right direction at the major league level. Shonwell, Neto, a couple other guys in particular that are definitely going to help contribute to this team. Now, that might not be the case. Like, not every prospect pans out. Like, I mean, we're talking about the last two first round picks for the Angels actually panning out. Is it last two or last three? Or I guess two out of the last three because Moore's the third one. So, but yeah, top prospects don't always pan out. I mean, look at Joe Adele. It's taken him quite a while to get going, and I think over the last 30 games, he's one of the best players and best outfielders in baseball behind Aaron Judge. So, yeah, I don't see why he shouldn't, but again, you just never know. Like, some prospects just don't pan out, and that's just how it works.
Hey, any closing thoughts on Christian Moore?
We'll see kind of how it goes. I would like to see him continue to get every day at bats. I hope they don't try and just call him up and go, oh, game or two here, off day. I know they gave him an off day today, but like let's just let the kid play. That's the biggest thing. Don't worry about anything else. Just let him play.
Mild vent on that. I think we're seeing that across baseball a lot this year, right? The Red Sox brought up Roman Anthony, brought up Mayer, Marcelo Mayer, favorite first
Yeah,
name.
Marcelo.
Um, they didn't play today. And they've been, when they've been sitting their guys every second or third day. The Reds have been doing that with their young guys, and then they wonder why they struggle. If you're gonna bring them up, play them. Let them. I mean, I would have Christian Moore in every game this Yankee series, every game. What have you got to lose? You're not expected to win this series anyways. Play him.
Well,
There he gets his experience playing Yankee Stadium.
and that's the difference too between the Angels and the Red Sox. The Red Sox have the aspirations of winning the division and winning playoff games. So like obviously those young guys are going to be key contributors for them, but like they got to do what's going to do the best for them to win today. And the Angels, they're in a little bit different spot where it's like, hey, are they a playoff team? No. So like just let the kids play and really develop them and let them get up every opportunity possible. So I agree with what you're saying.
If
I
we're talking
will
about development,
I will
whether
say
it's good.
I will say this about like days off and things like that. Yes, like they should be playing every single day, but also like Major League Baseball for these young kids, and they're still kids, right? Like, you can look up how old is Marcelo, how old is Roman. I mean, Christian Moore's what, 22, maybe 23 years old. It is a grind. I'm not making any excuses for days off, and they are kids that can play every day, but these guys have not been, playing 3 days, getting to the ballpark at 3 o'clock every single day, leaving the ballpark close to midnight, that it is a grind. So I don't mind seeing the days off and things like that, getting them acclimated, getting their feet wet, to Major League Baseball. But yeah, yes, I will agree with you guys. Like, every day at bats is definitely very good, but it's also an absolute grind what the major leaguers got to go through, flying and things like that. Getting in at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, going home and having to be at the ballpark again at 3 o'clock. So, yeah, again, no excuses. I definitely want to see every day at bats, but I mean, it's an absolute grind what they go through.
It doesn't logically make sense though, because it's more of a grind in the minors where the comforts are not nearly as good as what you're going to find in the majors.
To an extent, for sure.
I
You're
mean,
not traveling. You're probably not traveling as much. I mean, AAA is the only place that you fly, and you're not really flying all that far in AAA. Yeah, you're taking bus trips and in AA, single A, and stuff like that. But it's not. I mean, it's not quite the grind as the major leagues is, where you're in Anaheim one day, you're playing at noon, you're leaving Anaheim at 5 p.m. to go back and play in Baltimore, the next day. I know they had a day off and things like that, but it's still a grind. I mean, got to kind of remember that. So
let me clarify this though too. What I'm talking about is I'm not talking about the occasional day off.
yeah,
Like the Red Sox brought up Christian Campbell. He made the team out of camp. He goes through one slump. All of a sudden he's missing 2, 3 games in a row. Meyer comes up, struggles a little bit. He sits 2, 3 games in a row. Roman Anthony struggle hasn't doesn't have a hit yet. Okay, sits and then gets one at bat like yesterday. I'm not sure about today. That's not this one. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about play them like they are who you want them to be, because that's how they're going to develop.
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, again, to my point before, they're kids. Mentally, you have to give them a little bit of a break too. So, 2 days off, probably okay for somebody who's coming up and playing in Boston with extremely high expectations, right? Like the Angels fans have extremely high expectations for Christian Moore. Mentally, it's probably not a bad thing to give him maybe a day or two off. It's like I said, I know I'm not making excuses or anything
The
like that.
Boston thing's completely. It's hard to even compare what
I'm
the
just
Angels
using
are to
Boston as an
Boston.
example. I'm talking about this is something I'm seeing across the board with prospects,
Yeah.
not just Boston. We've seen it. I mean, Milwaukee's messed with Logan Henderson, the pitcher, a couple times, up and down, up and down, up and down. They if you're gonna call them up, call them up. Give them their opportunity. Don't play with them. Give them their shot. Like this is their time. Go. I mean, at least the Royals, like with Jack Hickley-Young, they've let him play. He hasn't been very good, but they're giving him a shot. So, all right. I guess that argument's over. Yankees, Angels, 4 game set. The game tomorrow night. First matchup, Soriano versus Schmidt. How do you feel about this pitching matchup going to Nate first?
I'm really curious to see how Soriano responds. He had his best outing of his career last time out. He threw really, really well. And of course, the Angels didn't score that night, but who cares? The Angels got the win. Soriano threw well. I really want to see how he handles Yankee Stadium after coming off a really, really good outing. Is he going to continue to throw strikes? Is he going to continue to get the swings and misses and get the strikeouts? The biggest thing with Soriano this year has been he throws a lot of pitches and he loves to go deep in counts. And it's like, hey, just go attack. You got good stuff. So this is going to be an interesting game. He's got to face a really, really tough lineup. Um, Clark Schmidt been good since coming back from the injury. I like the Yankees in game one.
Nate.
Nope, I'm Jared.
I'm sorry, Jared. Had a moment.
Yeah, I know. I gone back and forth on this one. It's gonna come down to the bullpen. I think both pitchers pitch decently well. Clark Schmidt matches up well against Angels offense, and Angels didn't really swing it that well in Baltimore. So, I'm gonna actually say the Angels find a way and pull a win out here. Though it's gonna come down to the bullpen. It's gonna be a close game, I think. So yeah, and I think Soriano pitches just good enough as well. Um, so. It'll be interesting to see how he bounces back, though. But I say they win. Oh, Derek, you frozen?
I actually have the Angels taking game one as well. I haven't been a person who's. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Ah, you're frozen. You were frozen for a hot second there. You're back.
You see me?
Yep.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. All right. My bad. Not that I have control over that. Nonetheless, I'm actually in agreement. I have the Angels taking game one. The Yankees got swept too. I have no trust in Clark Schmidt at all. Following him now for the last year and change. I'm curious as to how this series pans out with the pitching. None of the pitching matchups are especially exciting, but Soro's a better pitcher here, and they got some momentum. I'm going to take him game one. Game two. Oh boy. Now it's getting more interesting. Kyle Hendricks versus Will Warren. Jared, going to you first.
I will never pick Kyle Hendricks as a favorite. I'll never pick the Angels to win, and a Kyle Hendricks starts. With that being said, Kyle Hendricks has kept them in games, so expect him to keep them in a game here as well. As long as the sinker plays well and the wind is blowing in, and he doesn't have to face too many lefties in the Yankees lineup. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head if they really have that many lefties, but as long as he doesn't have to face any lefties. The Angels are going to lose. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't say that the Angels are going to win a Kyle Hendricks start. As well, I mean, as many quality starts as he's had of late. I can't do it. I just don't think that they're gonna win a Kyle Hendricks start. So I'll take a loss if that's the way it's going to be.
Nate.
Angels have won the last two Kyle Hendricks starts. The Angels continue that streak and win three straight Kyle Hendricks starts. I, how do I say this nicely? I I think Warren is very overrated. I think the Angels hit him around because I don't think he's that good. So it'll be an interesting game. I think it's probably like a 7-5 type of game, high scoring, but the Angels win.
All right, game three. Well, by the way, I have Will Warren here. Getting the win in that one. Um, Kohanowitz and Yarborough.
Kahanowitz got.
Yarborough.
I was gonna say Kahanowitz got to step up at some point. He is really walking on thin
Bad.
ice. He's walking on thin ice right now, and I'll say that he pitches well. Kahanowitz, I believe, is from. No, he's not from the New Jersey area. I think he's from the the Northeast, though.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's from that area, so I'm gonna say he's got some family in town in New York there, and probably pitches well with the family in town. So I'm gonna say that he dukes this one out with Ryan Yarbrough because Angels actually hit Ryan Yarbrough decently well as well. I know
Not his
maybe
last time out though.
yeah, I know. I was gonna say I think the last time he shoved, but in if you look at matchups, they hit him decently well minus his last start. So I'm gonna say the Angels win this game.
Yankees win. Yarbrough. I'm in the same point of how Jared feels about Hendricks. That's how I feel about Jack. It's just a waste right now. He can't be saying we're competitive throwing this guy out there every fifth day.
There he is. He's back, guys. He's back.
What? He's one of the worst pitchers in Major League Baseball right now, statistically speaking. So, I mean, and we're over here. We've got people. We'll talk about this in a minute about buying and selling, but we're running out one of the worst starting pitchers in Major League Baseball. So,
He's back.
I
Gets married and is totally back, guys.
all right. So Kikuchi and Rodon.
What do you got? Win or
and
lost, Eric? Come on.
Oh,
What
my
do you
bad.
got?
I have the Yankees win game three. I I
You
have
guys.
no faith in Kohanowitz at all.
and
Um,
Anderson and Rodon. Sorry.
it's not okay. It's Anderson Rodon.
Yeah, Kikuchi
Wait,
started today.
yeah, I'm going
Oh,
off our agenda. Thanks a
they
lot, there, killer.
sorry, they had Kikuchi in the they had Kikuchi going against Rodon. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Well, anyways, it makes it even worse because I actually had Kikuchi had a better chance. Anderson versus Rodon. I'm gonna go ahead and say now Rodon.
Yep.
So
Rodon as well.
All
Yankees
right,
win
all
3 out of
right.
4.
Wow, dang,
Yankees take three out of four.
look at you guys. I got a split. I got the split, huh? Come on.
Uh, The Yankees are too good to struggle in two straight series like this, and the pitching matches just don't work, man. If there's a
Tyler
problem with the
Anderson's
Angels, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Tyler Anderson's last 7 games, 6.49 ERA, 34 innings pitched, 27 Ks, 14 walks,
It's
and he's going to
bad.
pitch at Yankee Stadium. He's going to face Aaron Judge, and that lineup. Good luck. Good luck.
I wonder if he's still tipping his pitches. Got to go back and look.
I, I,
I,
it
so
wasn't him. It was Ohapi.
There you go.
Ohapi didn't catch him last time out. It was Darno, if I remember correctly.
Gotcha.
still pretty ugly there. If you said Kikuchi was pitching, I would have given him a better shot.
Yes.
So here we go. Yankees take three out of four. I'm thinking this is going to be a high scoring series. I mean, there's only one really solid, great pitcher in there, in Rodon. And he's been great this year, anyways. So I think it's going to be, I think it'll be entertaining, but Yankees take three out of four. So guys, here we are. Trade deadline's a month and a half away. Last thing to cover today, and that is the Angels buyers or sellers. 33 and 37. They're in the race in the AL West. It's not a very great. It's not a very good division. So, Jared, going to you first. Buyers.
Um, I think that they are sellers. I think they should be sellers. Absolutely. No matter what their record is. And I mean, even more so, I think the Angels get better after they sell, as weird as that sounds. If you're able, not that you're getting anything for a guy like Tyler Anderson, not that you're going to be getting much for a guy like Luis Renifo, or anything like that. The only piece that you're really probably getting anything for is Kenley Jansen, who's got playoff experience. Maybe Taylor Ward if they decide to trade him this year. The Padres seem decently desperate for an outfielder. That makes a lot of sense. But so I mean, let's say the Angels do trade Kenley Jansen and you put Reed Detmers as your closer. You're not losing much with Detmers as your closer compared to Jansen. Let's say the Angels trade Tyler Anderson. You replace him with like Caden Dana, George Clausen, somebody like that. You're not losing much still. With that being said, and then in the outfield with Taylor Ward, you probably slide Joe Adele to a corner. Maybe you bring up a guy like Nelson Rada, who's an actual center fielder. Maybe you bring in somebody like Matthew Lugo. And again, you're not losing all that much. The bat, yes. So, like I said, I think that they are sellers right now, and I think that if they sell and they sell three pieces, which is a stretch for the Angels, but if they sell that amount of pieces, I think that they are a better team with the young talent that they have in Double A and Triple A compared to what they are running out there right now. Not to mention somebody like Kyle Hendricks, who has not been very good. Maybe you send down Jack Kahanowitz, and come August 1st, the starting rotation looks completely different. The bullpen is Detmers at the end, and then the lineup is wardless. Um, I think that I think they're a better team. So I think that if they can hang around that 500 mark, sell, and you know, you just never know what's going to happen. They could be the Tigers, they could be the Diamondbacks. I don't think that's the case, but again, if they hang around 500 and bring up some of their young talent, there's a little bit of a hope for me. It's weird, as weird as that says sounds.
Nate,
Yeah, sellers as well. This team's not good enough to win right now. You're running out there Tyler Anderson, who has been one of the worst pitchers in baseball over the last seven starts. You're running out there Jack Kahanowitz, who has been probably the worst major league pitcher so far this year. And you're running out there Kyle Hendricks with an ERA over five. So like for you to sit here and be like, yeah, we can redo this rotation to be a playoff legitimate rotation is insane. I don't think it's possible, especially with the prospects the Angels have. So sell and move on. I think it would be nice if Makata came back and played decently well, where somebody might want something like that. It's good to see Rengifo um, starting to hit a little bit. I know all the numbers earlier said like, hey, he's been really unlucky, and now some of these these balls put in play are getting down, so that's huge for him. And Jansen's been up and down, but he's a pro. He's been a good closer, not a great closer for the Angels, but he's been able to pitch in some big games and get some big outs. So there's going to be a team that needs, like the Chicago Cubs need a back end guy. I wouldn't be shocked if they come calling. Taylor Ward, honestly, I think the longer you hang on to him, the worse this gets, because knowing the Angels, it's going to be something similar to the Rengifo situation where it was, hey, we'll get more next year, and nobody's going to give more the less he has on his contract, and all you're hoping for is him to play better. And if he has a year similar to this with no power, it's like you're getting nothing for him. So trade him, trade Anderson, trade Jansen, and regroup and go from there. Even if you don't get rid of Hendricks, even if you don't get rid of a Strickland or a Norris, or some of these guys where it's like, yeah, if somebody wants them, take them, but they need to get rid of a lot of pieces and just see what they can do to get better.
I'm gonna call you out and say the Angels never said they were gonna get more for an EFO once they waited. They said they didn't get the pieces that they wanted
Okay, which means that they thought they could have gotten more than they did, which will
last year.
not happen.
Correct. Correct. But they did not.
So what I
They were not waiting to get more. They thought they were going to get more last offseason. They did not get
wait,
those calls.
okay, which is the same thing, which what I said.
No,
They said they
no,
said we'll get
no.
more. We didn't get as much as we wanted because we had a high asking price. We will get more later. They did
No,
not.
they did not say they'll get more later. Don't
That's what,
misquote. Don't
but that's
misquote.
what they are saying. If you are saying that we did not get enough now, then we will, then definitely that we're going to get more than this. Because what's the point in holding on to a guy if you think that you're going
Because
to get
what he is,
less?
his value to the team is more than what they were going to get back.
Sure,
That's the thought process behind it. Not, I know he's been bad this year,
sure.
but if he's the same player he was last year, he's more valuable this year than he was for whatever they were going to get back. You know, whether it was the 28-year-old AAA that throws 100 miles an hour, two, Dominican kids, they didn't get the right asking price. They weren't saying they were going to get more, right? I'm just
Well, we
saying.
don't know.
No.
We don't know what they were saying.
alrighty then. I'm going with seller. That's what they should be. But will they be? I remember a couple times in the last couple of years saying, hey, they should be seller and they didn't do anything. One year they bought. Made no sense. So I don't have a whole lot of faith in what they're actually going to do. I'm concerned that if they are 3, 4 games under 500 like they are now, that they'll go ahead and they will go ahead and bite the bullet and buy or stand pat, and both will be horrible decisions. I'm just going off track record, guys. They should have been selling 2 years ago and they bought. And we all were on this very same podcast crying from the rooftops, sell, sell, sell. And we're like, here we are.
Sell, sell,
So
sell, 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 getting destroyed by the Japanese media.
absolutely. So should they sell? Yes. Will they sell? I have my doubts. And that's it for us today, guys. Follow us on Twitter at Jared_Tims. Follow Nate at Nate Green 34. Follow me at DC Ciapola. Follow the Talking Halos team at Talking Halos. We'll be back on Thursday night because of the Yankee series. I think, right?
Sounds right.
4 game set.
Should be good.
We're out of here. Have a great one.